So much. Let's bring in Jason Schmidt, Chautauqua District Attorney. Sir, so good to have you back on the show. I know we had some technical difficulties yesterday, but appreciate your time.
Sure.
So this manhunt has now been active for a full week. And at this point, we know more than 200 officers from local, state, federal agencies are now involved. What's your take on why he hasn't been found yet?
Well, the same as everybody else. He could be local. He could be outside the area. There's a number of different possibilities here. The longer that he's out there, the wider the perimeter being searched becomes. From our side across the border here in New York State, about 30 miles outside of Warren, we're focused on our homicide investigation, putting that case together so that we can go forward in prosecuting Mr. Burham, who's our primary suspect.
Yeah. And I want to bring, into the conversation what our correspondent Dre just brought up. The police discovered a drone had been flying right outside of the prison at that time. How do you read that? Does that signal to you that he was getting outside help? If so, what leads are police following to try and track down an accomplice?
I don't know. That's a lot of speculation. So I think that what the police do whenever there's a crime that's occurred is they look for video evidence and they look at drones, the possibility of cameras in the area. Here, if there is a drone, it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody is assisting Mr. Burham. You have to remember he was only in the Warren County Jail for a very short period of time, but clearly there was a security breach, and you have to look at the corrections officers there, because otherwise Warren County is a professional organization that were very helpful with us the night of the homicide when we were seeking search warrants, and we quickly recognized that Warren County was implicated in this, and that's where Mr. Burham had traveled after he committed his acts here in Chautauqua County.
Yeah. And to your point, who really knows where he could be at this point, but it's my understanding law enforcement has shifted their focus to more rural areas, the vast Allegheny National Forest. With that being said, what are you finding the major challenges and barriers to be that law enforcement is facing right now?
I think the rural nature of the area gives a lot of opportunities for someone to hide out. We're not in the middle of the winter. This is the middle of July. It's a very favorable. I know that there's a lot of talk about how he's a survivalist and he's been out there. Most of our law enforcement people are also, very accustomed to being outside. We have a lot of hunters in the area. We have outdoorsmen. So, Mr. Burham is out there, but so are about, 500 law enforcement officers looking for him. So I'm pretty confident that it may not be tomorrow, but he's going to come back into custody, and he'll have to face the charges for, and be held accountable for his actions.
Yeah, he's outnumbered big time, no doubt about it. And to your point of him being an outdoorsman, he's a survivalist with this special set of skills, if you will. How much of a threat does he pose to the community?
I think we have to be careful here, and we always have to be vigilant. We live in a community where people generally don't necessarily lock their doors. They leave their cars open. They are generally very friendly to strangers. So I think here we have to be very vigilant that we're dealing with somebody who is looking to escape, and he abducted an elderly couple previously. So I wouldn't put anything past him. And I think, the public needs to know that they need to lock their doors. And if they see something, say something to their local police.
Yeah, this guy has been like quicksand this year, kind of unbelievable. And I know all eyes are on it. Jason Schmidt, Chautauqua District Attorney, thanks so much, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.